The feeling of being able to win, the feeling to be able to go through hardship, the feeling of being able to enjoy this moment with your teammates, with your family, being able to know that there's a lot of time, the amount of days that you stack to be able to get to this moment. You dream of it. And to being able to be in the finals is something that I didn't expect myself to be a part of for a very long time. So just being able to do this in my first year, I just want to be able to learn as much as I possibly can and grow as much as I possibly can. I just expected this. I ain't expect this. My mom ain't expect this. Tyson ain't expect this. Jason Kidd ain't expect this. They expected me to come to the Dallas Mavericks and learn. And I feel like that's what I did. I don't think they expected me to learn this much this quick. And I think I've been able to be very fortunate for them to put me in position to learn. There's been a lot of times where I was unsure of play calls, unsure of positions, unsure of different things. But I've been able to lean on my team. They back me up. They understand that I'm rookie. They understand that I haven't been in this situation before. But I'm gonna fake it till I make it.
You were perfect for where you are today.
Being able to be mentally tough. Being able to know that, I look at him and I see myself plus 20, 25 years. And seeing someone who has been in my position, who's been in this seat, who has played in the championship, who has gotten the championship, being able to guide me, it makes me that much more confident in who I am. Knowing that he has my back, he's confident in me, makes me want to go out on the court and just play with that much more aggression.
What is this Boston?
There's been a special group of kids that have shown you support this entire season.
Brittany Cohen, she's an amazing teacher. I love everybody a part of that school, a part of that class.
You've talked so much about how much you care about the next generation, and I don't know if you've seen their videos on Twitter, I'm sure that you have, of when they're, reenacting your dunks or just following up with the game the next day. If you could just tell that class anything about the support that they've shown you this season, what would it be?
They know I love them. They know that for sure. No matter if they had a lemonade stand, I drove like 45 minutes out, and I almost got there late, but I was just trying to make sure that I could do whatever I can to make an impact in a kid's life. Because, I feel like whenever we're young, we have many dreams, we have many aspirations, and when we grow up, we lose those. We lose sight of who we wanted to be, what dreams we had as a kid, and I feel like we should never lose those things. Those things kind of shape the person who you are, and they shape the future who you can be. So I'm just trying to be able to make sure that no matter if you're 5 years old, 10 years old, 15 years old, whatever you want to do, whoever you want to be, do your best to do it.
Dereck, how are you feeling from a health standpoint?
I'm great. Looking left. Right? I'm great. Everyone's gonna ask. Everyone's been asking for the past couple of days. I'm all right. If I'm gonna get hit in the head another 3-4 times, I'm still get back up and act like nothing happened.
You playing for him?
I feel like he's been one of the best coaches I've ever had. He's put me in positions where, he's expecting me to fail, and even if I fail, he's gonna leave me in there to learn. I feel like, his coaching style fits me very well. He's walking into the locker room and then asking, so what do we think? Being able to have a coach like that who's gonna make the players speak, make the players talk to one another, and then say what he thinks is an amazing process. We're able to talk to one another about what we think we need to do together as a team, and then whenever the staff comes in, they bring in their own light, what they see from the court, because players and coaches see the game 2 different ways, and we're just able to help each other. I feel like Coach Kidd has definitely, there's been a lot of criticism on him, and I don't understand why. I feel like he's an amazing coach and an amazing person.
What are some of
There's a video of you circulating from All-Star Weekend interviewing Jason Tatum. He's given you advice on just your rookie season, and now you're facing him and the Celtics in the finals. Just what is that moment like for you, especially, the Duke connection there?
Full circle. I feel like I've seen him whenever I was back in college, seen him before college, and now going up against him he's an amazing player. They're an amazing team. It gives me, I don't even know what the words to say. It gives me like pins and needles because I'm excited. Being able to go up against such a great team and being able to I know I'm going to fail, but being able to adapt to the things that I'm feeling is something I'm looking forward to. Something I'm looking forward to is just going out there, making a mistake, learning, and then correcting that mistake in front of people.
And lastly, you've just mentioned failure a lot as like a positive thing. So what's your definition of success for your game?
Definition of success. Not being the same person you were yesterday. Being able to learn, it might just be one little thing, just being able to change one thing in your life. I feel like that's the slow progression that everybody needs.
And the Timberwolves.
You know, I feel like they're an amazing team. You know, they've been on the top 3 teams in the league the entire year. You know, they can shoot the shit out of the ball. You know, 1 through 5, they're an amazing team. They can space the floor. They can get to the rim. They have a lot of weapons that they can use on the floor. So we're just going to be able to try to understand when they're going to use their weapons and when we can try to use a weapon against them.
I'm sure you're familiar with the.
What do you think is going to be your biggest challenge with facing the Celtics here starting later this week?
Being consistent. No matter if they're making a run, no matter if we're making a run, we got to be able to have our foot on the gas. No matter what's going on the floor, no matter what's going on and what they say in the stands, we got to be able to be poised, be focused, and execute.
How much do you got?
Dereck, with guarding Porzingis and Horford, obviously 2 floor-stretching bigs, what have you thought of your development, moving your feet in space and guarding on the perimeter this season?
You know, I feel like at the start of the season it was a little shaky, and throughout the middle of the season it was definitely a little shaky. But when it comes down to those key moments and we have to sit down and guard, I love it. I love being in those moments. Your adrenaline's pumping, your heart's pumping, and you just feel alive in those moments. Those moments where people try to break you down as a big, and you sitting in front of them, it kind of makes you chuckle because they look at you like, oh, he can move his feet. But, you know, it's definitely taken a long journey of being able to try to stay in front of people, especially people who are as talented as they are in the league.
You were not favored in the 3 previous series. You're not favored this series.
You know, I feel like we feel like there's always someone pointing down on us, and we're like, okay, cool. You know, you're gonna say that about us. Watch what we got to do next. And we've kind of just taken that to heart. You know, if people are gonna just label us as underdogs, overrated, or we can't get things done, we just kind of shrug our shoulders. You know, I feel like we've all dealt with a lot of adversity in our life, a lot of people telling us we can't, and I feel like that drives us. Whenever people tell us we can't, we want to do it a little bit more.
I think a lot of people forget.
You know, I'm here to win games. I'm not here to care about how many points I put on the board, how many rebounds I put on the board, how many times I start in the game, and he's the same way. You know, I feel like we have a great 1-2 dynamic of picking each other up. No matter if I'm having a bad game, he's having a bad game, or if we're both having a good game, we're going to pick each other up no matter what's going on. You know, being able to have both of us coming out there, setting screens, getting lobs, throwing elbows, catching rebounds, it makes our teammates trust us. Since we got the paint, they know that they got to lock down the 3-point line, the perimeter. And if they don't, they're just going to send them to us. And having that trust of, okay, if we ain't got them, our bigs got them.
Did it work? I mean, did it work out even better maybe than you thought it would?
For sure. And I feel like me and Gaffer's dynamic is amazing. You know, I feel like I look at him as an older brother. You know, I've really leaned on him many times, understanding the different schemes in the game, understanding different points, when to make a push, when to be able to take care of the ball, and just understanding the flow of the game.
The trade deadline has been pointed to as a turning point for this season. You know, with the talent in place, the pieces that came here, and then the investment on defense. But how does chemistry, how is that a key to the success that this team has going to the finals?
It has a lot. Understanding people's tempos, understanding what they like to do, what makes them uncomfortable, but being able to uplift your teammates because you know what spots to put them in, or you understand what rhythm they like to get into. It took me a little while to understand Kyrie and Luka's, but whenever PJ and Gaff here, it was like they just picked up the things that we were trying to do. They hopped right into the schemes we were running, and they fit like a perfect puzzle piece. So just being able to have that on the floor, off the floor, we're a close-knit family. You know, we always try to lean on one another, we always try to see one another and try to enjoy time with one another. And that's going to make us on the floor tighter and more of a team.
What have you learned about yourself during this postseason?
Tough as nails, man. I don't care what name, what you do to me, what you throw at me. If I hit the ground, I'm going to get back up.